No matter where you are in the adoption process, you are likely wondering how you can adopt a baby in less than a year. That is one of the most commonly asked questions that I get in my DMs all the time. And given where we are when this episode releases, you're likely wondering how you can adopt a baby in 2023. Well, in today's episode, I'm going to give you 7 tips that will help you adopt in 2023 that are based on exact real steps that my clients have followed to match their adoptions in less than a year. If we haven't met yet, my name is Amanda, and I help hopeful adoptive families learn how to adopt and create and share their adoption profiles so they can match in less than 1 year. If you haven't already taken the moment to do so, please subscribe and ring the little bell icon so that you'll be notified each time I release a new video. Before we dive into the 7 steps, I want to take just a minute to talk to you about the adoption industry as a whole. As you might have heard, or if you've been around for a minute, the adoption industry has been kind of on a bit of a roller coaster throughout the pandemic, as many other industries have as well. There has been a shift that I've been seeing happening within my clients that when they put themselves in the driver's seat of their adoption, that they are actually matching faster than agencies alone. So while there are no industry reported statistics that says, hey, this is how many adoptions there are, and this is by which method, and the length of time, and the average cost, and all of those things, because let's face it, that would just be so incredibly helpful. That just doesn't exist. So the best I can do is to share the observations that my clients actually going through the process that we're having together, and share that with you so that can help you in your adoption journey. Okay. So everything I'm going to share with you today is really based upon the kind of the unifying fact that when they follow these steps, this is what's actually happening for them. And if you haven't checked out Jill and Brady's episode, you can go back and check that out. We recorded that earlier this fall, and they are one client that came on the show that shared how they matched in less than a year. And I know that episode would be incredibly helpful for you. Okay, so the first thing that you can do to help make sure that you match in 2023 is to be really clear on why you want to adopt. Now, I know you may be like, excuse me, hello, that is so obvious. I want to bring a baby home. But being clear on why you want to adopt will actually help you have kind of a goal and a focus area that will help keep you strong throughout the process, that will help keep you motivated to really achieve your goal. If you have ever heard start with why is really the idea that says that if you are intently focused on the end goal and why you want to do that, that will make any journey much easier. This is something that I coach my clients through when we're going through figuring out their method of matching or their the right adoption pathway for them, so that they can really know where they're headed and why they're headed there, so that can help us much easier work through the process of adopting. So the very first thing is you want to be clear on why. The second, and I touched on it a little bit there, you want to be clear on what is your perfect adoption pathway for your family. Every family has a different set of goals, has a different set of financial objectives, different set of time objectives. All of those things are factors in helping you determine what is the right adoption pathway for you. And if you need help doing that, my friend, you can head on over to myadoptioncoach.com/pathway, and that will take you to a resource where I walk my clients through that. We get really specific on what they want their life to look like at the end of this journey. And then we really work backwards to help them achieve that version of their life through finding their perfect adoption pathway. The third thing is you want to have a very clear set of actions to follow. If you know I need to do this, and this is how long it's going to take, and these are the steps and then the right order, that is ultimately going to help you be more focused in your adoption journey and help it take less time. I have tons of clients that come to me that are like, hey, I've been waiting for 18 months or 24 months in my adoption journey. And when I really unpack their waiting period, they actually were waiting to do their home study for 6 months. Then once they did their home study, then they did their adoption profile. It doesn't all have to be quite so do this, then do that, do that. Some things you want to run concurrently so that it actually takes you less time to get ready to be a live and waiting family. So, and then once you're a live and waiting family, waiting to match, then there are things that you can do even in that step to make things move a bit faster. If you need help with that, then you need to head on over to myadoptioncoach.com/school, where I walk you through the private adoption school and walk you through the exact steps to follow there so that you can, again, achieve your objectives of adopting in less than 1 year. Next, you want to schedule time on your calendar with that plan of action that I walked you through step by step so that you can actually make things happen, right? So it is great to go through training. It's great to go through courses and watch videos and all the things. But if you don't actually schedule time in your calendar to make it happen, it won't happen. That's one of the things that Jill and I talked about as we were preparing for her episode, was that she was very intentional with how she was spending her time throughout her process. And she said, I plan to get myself up 30 minutes earlier every day so that I could work on the paperwork at the beginning. And then when it became time to do the profile, I worked 30 minutes earlier got up 30 minutes earlier every day and planned to knock out 4 questions and provide 4 photos. It made it so much more easy for her to walk through it. I had another client, Susie, that really went through each individual step, but she did it all over the course of a weekend. She said, you know what? I decided that this weekend that my husband was working. He was a doctor. He was working and on call, and I could sit down and do the majority of this on the weekend and not feel like I had to make meals or wash clothes or do anything else. She was like, I planned ahead and took care of all of those things. And I knocked it out over the course of a Saturday and a Sunday and wrote my entire, profile. And then on another weekend, she made sure that they provided all of their paperwork for their home study. So she just went into her calendar and blocked off weekends that worked for her to be able to do that and didn't allow any, kind of time with friends or family that weekend so that she could really stay focused. So making sure that you have time blocked in your calendar so that you're making slow and steady progress is really helpful. The 5th step that my clients that have matched in less than 1 year did is they got professional help throughout the process in order to make their decision-making process much faster. Now, can you go at it alone by Google and asking questions in Facebook? Absolutely. But will that take you more time? Absolutely, it will. And so instead, what you can do is hire select professionals to help you along the way. Maybe you have medical questions that are really hanging you up so that you can really fill out your questionnaire on what you feel equipped to parent. Well, then why not head on over and check out Sarah at the Adoption Doc LLC and ask her those questions. Sometimes paying, a couple $100 for an hour of someone's time is really helpful to you because it's going to make it faster for you to get through that. There is a kind of a time expense equation here, my friends. I hate to be so crass about it, but you can spend all of your time Googling and asking questions in Facebook groups, or you can work with someone that's gone before you, that has a lot of experience, and that can help you get to your specific questions answered in a faster period of time, or that can just walk you through actual processes that people have followed in order to achieve success in their adoption journeys. So types of adoption professionals that you might want to have help with is someone to help you, again, understand what type of adoption pathway is right for you. Obviously, someone that's going to help you through the home study process, but someone that's going to also help you prepare for the home study process so that you can save time in that endeavor. Next, you might want to have help with creating and sharing your profile, or asking questions to an actual pediatrician that has experience in adoption as it relates to medical records. Or you might even want to just have an initial conversation with an attorney so that you can better understand things that are working in your state and how the law works in your state in order to save yourself time. Okay? The sixth way that you can really help yourself match in less than a year is creating and sharing a high quality adoption profile. Now, in my episode with Jill, she said that her expectant mama chose them because of her profile. And she said she got a really good sense of who they were as a family, and that made her feel more comfortable in her choice. And my friend, isn't that what we all want to hear? We want to hear that our expectant family like us for who we are. And when we're sharing who we authentically are, and that's what shows up in our profile, then my friend, that is just an amazing set of goosebump giving moments that will really cement that initial relationship forming stage. And it's really important. So when it comes to creating and sharing your high quality adoption profile, it comes down to making sure that you're telling a clear story of who your family is in a way that appeals to what people are looking for. So again, being authentically you, and then sharing it as much as possible. And again, I have tons and tons and tons of different videos for you here on the YouTube and on the podcast that you can listen to that walk you through what is a high quality adoption profile. How do you make those things and how do you share it once you've made it? And how do you share it in a way that's both free and paid and all of the things? But if you need help with your adoption profile today, head on over to myadoptioncoach.com/profile, and you can see how you can set up time to talk with me one-on-one about your adoption profile. The seventh thing that in the final step in being prepared to match your adoption in less than a year is being prepared to have a conversation once you match. You can do all the things. You can be intentional with your time. You can have a, kind of a plan that you're following and be step by step and moving through all of those things quickly, and then get to the match stage and have someone actually reach out to you and you begin having conversation, and everything could fall apart. And I know that it's really sad to hear. It is the truth. And that's the reason why being intentional with how you spend your time getting up to that point and really setting yourself a goal of like, okay, within 4 months, I'm going to be home study approved and I'm going to have my profile ready and I'm going to be out and sharing that so that I can focus on the next 8 months on really finding a match and being intentional with that time. You want to be prepared for the conversations that come. I've had a lot of great conversations with Stephanie A. over at Adoption and Beyond. And you can check out that episode where we talk about adoption outreach and an amazing program that she has where she teaches you how to do that. But really being intentional with the type of relationship you want to form with the expectant family once you match, as well as how do you actually have those conversations and what's the right way to have the conversation? And this doesn't matter if you're matching through an agency, an attorney, a consultant, or if you're self-matching. Either way, you're going to have conversations with the expectant family, and you want to make sure that you are really well equipped for that. And Stephanie's resources and program are really amazing for doing that. She has been a licensed social worker for well over 20 years or maybe even longer. And she has experienced all different types of situations and has a lot of rich and valuable information to help you there. So there you have it. 7 things that you can do to help you be successful in adopting a baby through private adoption in 2023. I know at the time of this filming, we are nearing the end of 2022, and you're likely planning ahead and setting your sights on where you're headed. And my friend, this is the perfect time to be intentional, to get in community, and to learn from those that have gone before you. If you have any questions at any time on what to do, how to do it, remember, anything's possible with the right plan and support, and I'm just a direct message away. I'll see you soon, friend.